Watch this video if you would like to know more about VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP in Excel and understand what the difference is between them in returning the desired values in a table. Hello everyone, Shahab is back with another interesting Excel tutorial, and today I'm going to talk about VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Watch this video up to the end to learn how to use them. If it's the first time you're watching my videos, please hit the subscribe button to get the notification for the new upcoming videos. Stay tuned. VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP are the functions that help us to look up a value in a big data table and return the relative value in the same row or column. The point we should remember is that the value we are looking up has to be in the leftmost column, and the returning value has to be in an adjacent column. So the left is a key here. You cannot look up a value on the right side and return a value on the left side. Both the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP are pretty similar to each other and work in the same way. The difference is in the first letter. V stands for vertical lookups and H stands for horizontal lookups. So if your data table has column headers, you need to use VLOOKUP. And if your data table has row headers, you will probably need to use HLOOKUP. Let's explore each with examples. Consider we have this table on the left with sales information for some products. This table is just for demonstration, and your table might have hundreds or more rows. Now, we want to see the product category name and sales amount for each of the selected products in the sales report on the right. To select the product IDs, instead of writing each of them manually, first I create a drop-down menu here in this cell, which helps users to select any of the products easily. To do so, click on this cell and go to the data menu on top, and from here, click on Data Validation. In the pop-up window, in the Setting tab and Allow section, choose List. Click in the source field and select all the values in column A, which are the product IDs. In this example, we should select A2 to A17. Now beside this cell, you can see a drop-down icon, and you can easily select any of the product IDs. Select the first one, product ID A. Now click on this cell and insert an equal sign. Then I write VLOOKUP and open parentheses. First we need to define the lookup value, which is this cell, and then insert a comma. Next we have to define the table range that we want to look at. So I click on A2, then press on Ctrl Shift and right key on the keyboard to select the whole row, and then Ctrl Shift and down key to select all the values. At the end, insert a comma. Then we need to define which column as a value should be returned. Because here we are looking for product category in column C, we can write C2 to C17, or easily select all the cells in this column. Also, if we look at this table range that we selected, the first column is product ID, second one is product name, third one is product category, and so on and so forth. So instead of writing C2 to C17, we can just easily write 3, because in the selected range, product category is the third column, and At the end, insert a comma. This next parameter you need to insert is important if your lookup value is a text, not a number. If you leave it empty, it automatically considers it as true, which means partial match is sufficient, and we don't need the exact match. But it's required that your lookup value column is sorted in ascending order. If not, you will probably receive an error. In our case, the lookup value column is sorted, but I don't want to really think if it's text or number or sorted. So easily just select false, which is my recommendation to use. False means it should be an exact match. You can see it gives us the product category name for product ID AA. To receive the sales amount, we write exactly the same formula. And so, I click on this cell and copy the formula from formula bar here and paste in this cell. The only change I need to make is to insert column number 6, which refers to sales amount, instead of column 3, which refers to product category. We can also use VLOOKUP in a formula. For example, if here I change the column number 4, which refers to sales quantity, and multiply to the exact same formula, just change the column number to 5, which refers to the unit price, we will receive the same result. Now, by changing the product ID, you can easily see the product category name and sales amount for each of the selected products. Let's copy the entire data table and create another sheet. Here on the first cell, right-click, and from these paste options, choose this transposed one, which has an icon of 2 arrows on it. This is the exact same data table, which is transposed. Let me just go back to this sheet and copy this sales report section and go back here and paste the values. Then delete these values. The same for product ID, I need to validate data and choose cells B1 to Q1. Now again we can select any of the products. So select product ID A. Here this time to look up the values we can use HLOOKUP. And the same as what described earlier, write HLOOKUP and open parentheses. Then we should define the lookup value, which is this validated cell. And then choose the data table range, which is B1 to Q6. The same, we need to choose product category, which is third row. And so I write 3 and then false. To return the sales amount, I copied the same formula and this time pick row 6 to replace row 3. You can see how we return the required values using HLOOKUP. And by changing the product IDs, we can see different product categories and sales amounts related to them. So you've learned how to use VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. But the only limitation you need to consider is we need to look up the value in a column on the left. And for example, in this first sheet, if I want to look up a product name and return the product ID, it is not possible. We need to first move the column to the left and then complete this process. If you like this video, don't forget to share it and give it a thumbs up. and subscribe to the channel to get the notification for the new upcoming videos. Have a good one, all Excel lovers.